Happy TGIF Friday, my little chickadees. It's been like forever since I've sent you a video tip, so stick with me. This is going to be a good one. So today's topic is all about communication and setting expectations. Here, let me give you an example. Look at these beauties. So honey, I just have to tell you, as I communicate to my husband, that if I went into a store and I happen to see these shoes on the shelf, they just might be saying, Kim, buy me, you need to have me. So the expectation will be that I won't be able to help myself and somehow I'm going to have to buy these shoes. So if you see what I'm talking about, I just communicated, set the expectation, and the good news is everybody's happy when I buy these shoes. So here's what I have for you, communication. I just have to ask you, I want you to think about something. Have you ever gotten a closing statement or been at the closing and finally had a chance to review all of the line items on the closing documents and been like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they forgot to put a credit for the home warranty or the seller credit, or they forgot the gap coverage. Well, here's the deal, people. Picture yourself on the other end. They had to look through 27 counteroffers to even figure out what the purchase price was. So here's a tip for you. You have got to over-communicate with everybody involved in the transaction, and even more now with the lending rules that are going to be changing that were supposed to happen on August 1st, but not now until October 1st is, well, the good news is now you have time to I don't know, practice this communication thing. So here's a tip. Why not put together a template, a cover sheet that you share with everybody, not just the co-broke and the buyer and the seller, but why not share it with the lender and the closing department and the title company that highlights all of the important things in the offer, not just the purchase price, but any credits, anything that's included, anything that's not included, who's paying for what. Put it in writing, provide it, then we won't have these problems later on because we're going to set the expectations. This is not rocket science. Here's one for you. Have you ever run into a situation where a buyer is confused? They're not really sure where they're supposed to turn in their earnest money, or, oh, I totally forgot, didn't realize that was a deadline. Why not put together a template for your buyers and sellers that highlights all of the important dates and deadlines? I mean, for crying out loud, half the time a buyer can't even remember what their new address is. Put that on there as well. All right, set the expectation. Do you actually do a net proceeds sheet with your seller? If you're not doing that, you are not setting the expectation, and later on they're going to be surprised. Why not put on that proceeds sheet? And by the way, you should do it at the time of the listing and when you get an offer if there's a huge discrepancy in the list price so that they know what it looks like. You should put a line item in there. I mean, like, really, seriously, I don't know about you, but probably 80% of the time, something comes up in the inspection. Set the expectation for the seller that something's going to come up in the inspection and you might need to provide a credit for the buyer. Why not put a line item on the net proceeds sheet that talks about inspection? Here, buyers, did you know that whenever you have an inspection, something will come up? Or, hey, buyers, I know you're first-time buyers, but did you know you should really budget to buy paint because you're probably going to have to paint the interior? Nobody likes the same colors in their house. The point is, I want you to really think about your transactions and what gets you from the beginning to the closing, and if you've got a common thread of the types of things that seem to repeatedly come up as surprises to sellers, surprises to buyers, surprises to the lender. Why not set the expectations and communicate all of this information up front? That's what I have for you. I could go on and on and on, but what would be the point? Because it is by far the best day ever as National Martini Day. So today I'm ending this message not with a glass of wine, but with a martini in honor of National Martini Day. Cheers to you, keep up the great work, and I hope that you have time today to enjoy a martini. Thanks for your hard work. Delicious.